we have all become very cognizant of Jack and his story, and when Alibaba went public with the largest IPO in history, we knew a lot more about him. So I want to talk about his personal story. I want to talk about how many times he tried and failed and what kept him going. I want to talk about where he is today and how he got here. I will begin with this question of Jack. Why are you back at Doubles? It's been a long break, for 7 years I think. My last trip here was in year 2008, but I was coming for year 2001 for Young Global Leader for Tomorrow, and I think I remember I never heard about Davos when I came. But when I came into Switzerland, so many young people demonstrated. It was such a horrible scene, and I asked them, what are they doing? They said, anti-globalization. And I said, why? Globalization is a great thing. Why people don't like it? And then we came all the way for 2 hours here. There is a machine gun. There is a people checking us. Oh God, is it a film or is it a prison? What's it that? But when I joined the forum as a young global leader, I was thrilled by so many ideas. For the first 3 to 4 years, I learned what does globalization mean? What does cooperative citizenship mean? What does social responsibility mean? On these new ideas, and I saw so many great leaders talking about leadership, and I benefited a lot. In the year 2008 and 9, when the financial crisis came, I thought it's better to go back to work because we can never win the world by talking. So go back, spend 7 years. Now I came back, I think it's time to do something in return. I learned so much 12 years ago. So why should I not be talking to young global leader of today, sharing with them how we've gone through? So that's what I think. Let's start with where you are today. Just how big is Alibaba? How many people come every day? How many people come in a week? How fast is it growing? Yeah, we have over 100 million buyers visiting our site, shop on our site every day. And we created 100 million every day. We created 14 million jobs from China directly and indirectly. And we grew from 18 people to 30,000 people, 18 people in my apartment to now we have a big campus. Compared to 15 years ago, we were big. But compared to 15 years later, we were still a baby. How big will you be 15 years from now? I think 15 years ago, I told my team that 15 years, in the past 15 years, we grew from nothing to this size. And 15 years later, I want people to see and know about Alibaba because it's already everywhere. I want 15 years ago when we talked about what is e-commerce, what small businesses can use this e-commerce, use the internet, can do business across the nation. And I hope 15 years later, people forget about e-commerce because we think it's like electricity. Nobody thinks it's high-tech. There's something that I don't want 15 years later. We still walk on the street talking about why and how e-commerce can help people. You try to get into 3 colleges. Each time they rejected. No, I tried. There is an examination that young people, if you want to go university, you have to take the examinations. So I failed 3 times. But I failed at a lot of for funny things. I failed a key primary school test 2 times. And I failed like 20 times for the middle schools. And you will never believe in Hangzhou, my city. There is only 1 middle school that lasts only 1 year. It was changed from primary school to middle school because our graduates of our school, no middle school accept us because we are too bad. It will become a middle school What effect did it have though? Being rejected. Well, I think we have get used to it. We're not that good. Even today, we still have a lot of people reject us. I think when I graduate from universities and before, for 3 years and try and fail to get into universities, so I applied to jobs for 30 times, got rejected. I went police, they said no, you're not good. I went to, even the KFC, when KFC came into China, they said 24 people for the job. 23 people were accepted. I was the only guy. And we went for police, 5 people, 4 of them accepted. I was the only guy that never received it. So to me, being turned out rejected. Oh, by the way, I told you that when I applied for Harvard for 10 times rejected. I know I will be rejected. They're sorry now. 10 times. You wrote them and said, I want to come to Harvard. Yeah. And then I told myself someday I should go to teach there someday. I think that it can be arranged. Richard Nixon came to Hangzhou, and after that, tourists flooded the place. And that's how you learned English. Yeah. I really liked I don't know why, at 12, 13 years old, at the time, I suddenly fell in love with the language, English. And there is no place you can learn English at that time. There is no books, English books. So I went to the Hangzhou Hotel, now called Hangzhou Shangri-La Hotel, because that was the hotel that received the foreign visitors. So every morning for 9 years, I showed them around as tour guide, and they taught me English. I think that changed me. Today I'm 100% made in China. I've never got 1 day's training outside of China. And when people talk to me and say, Jack, how can you speak English like that? Why do you sometimes talk like the Western guys? I think that was the 9 years. These Western tourists opened my mind, because everything they taught me was so different from the things I learned from the schools and from my parents. So now I have a habit. Whatever I see, whatever I read, I use my mind. Think about doing business. Is that how my name became Jack Ma? Actually, Jack, the name was given by a lady in tennis. She's a tourist. She came here and she said, came to Hangzhou, we become pen friends. My name is so different to pronounce. So she said, do you have an English name? I said, no. Can you give me an English name? She said, okay. She said, my father's called Jack, my husband's called Jack. What do you think about Jack? I said, good. So I have been using that for many years. First visit to America, 1995. Yeah. I came here for a project, helping the local government to build up a highway. And you try the internet. And tried the internet in Seattle, and in a building called US Bank. I don't know whether US Bank is still there or not, but it's a building. And my friend opened a small office, which is like only 10% bigger than this room, and there are a lot of computers in there. And he said, Jack, this is internet. I asked, what is internet? He said, search wherever you want. At that time, they use Mosaic, very slow. And I said, I don't use it. I don't want to type because computers so expensive in China. If I destroy it, I cannot pay. I said, just search it. So I searched the first word, beer. I don't know why, because it's easy to spell. And I see beers from Germany, beers from the USA, beers from Japan. But there is no beer from China. And I said, okay, type the second word, China. No data. Nothing. 1995. No data about China. So I talked to my friend, why don't I make something about China? So we made a small, very ugly looking page called China. It's something like I did a translation agency and we're listed on there. It was so shocking. We launched at 9:40 in the morning. 12:30, I got a phone call from my friend who said, Jack, you got 5 emails. I said, what is email? And he said, these are the things. Where are you from? This is the first thing I see a Chinese website on that. When can we do something together? So I think this is something interesting. So we should do it. What did you call Alibaba? Alibaba? Well, when I started, I think internet is global. We should have a global name and a name that is interesting. Like at that time, the best name was Yahoo. So I've been thinking for many days, and suddenly Alibaba is a good name. So I happened to be in San Francisco that day, and I had lunch, and the waitress came. I asked her, do you know Alibaba? She said, yes. I said, what's the Alibaba? She said, open sesame. Good. So I ran to the street and asked 10, 20 people. They all know about Alibaba and the 40 Thieves and Open Sesame. And I think this is a good name. And it started with A. Whatever you talk about, Alibaba's always on the top. You have said before that in creating Alibaba, you had to create trust. Because people in China were used to face-to-face. How did you create trust? I think because we started out doing business on the internet. I don't know you, you don't know me. So how can you do things online unless you have trust? So for e-commerce, the most important thing was trust. I think when I first went to the US for raising money, talked to the venture capitalists, a lot of people say, oh, Jack, no. Try and doing business about currency. How can you do business on the internet? And know that without the trust of the system, the credit system, it's impossible to do business. So we, in the past 14 years, everything we do is trying to build up the trust system, the record system. Well, Charlie, I'm so proud today. Today in China and in the world, people don't trust each other. The government and people and media, and everybody thinks, oh, this guy is shooting. But because of e-commerce, we finish 60 million transactions every day. People don't know each other. I don't know you. I send products to you. You don't know me. You wire the money to me. And I don't know you. I gave a person a package. I don't know him. He took something to sell across the ocean, across the river, and this is the trust. We have at least this 60 million trusts happening every day. But you created it by creating an escrow account, and so you keep the money until you got a product, and then you release money. That's true. I mean, the escrow service is about Alipay. This idea would love devils because it was a big decision. Because for the 3 years, Alibaba is just like a marketplaces for information. What do you have? What do I have? We talked a lot of times, but I don't do any business because there were no pavement. I talked to the banks. No banks wanted to do it. Banks said, no, this thing would never work. So I don't know what to do. Because if I start to launch a pavement system, it's against the financial legal laws. Because you have to have a lesson. But if I don't do it, e-commerce would go nowhere. So then I went to Davos and listened to a leadership discussion. Leadership is about responsibility. And after I listened to the panel, I gave a call to my friends. My colleagues in the apartment say, do it now, immediately. If something's wrong, the government's not happy about that. If somebody has to go to the prison, Jack Ma go to the prison. Because it's so important for China, for the world, to be able to trust system. And if you do not do it, I said I do not do it properly, stealing money, money wash, no trust record, I send you to the prison. So I always say things, and people don't like it. So many people I talked to at that time for Alipay, they said, this is the stupidest idea you have ever got. But I said, I don't do stupid or clever as long as people use it. Now we have 800 million people using this Alipay. Stupid thinks everybody is better. Alipay is a privately held thing. It's not part of Alibaba. No, it's private. Let's talk about money for a second. You have never gotten money from Chinese banks? Nope. I want it in the beginning. Later, I don't want it because I think if the company always thinks about picking money from out of the government's pockets, that company is rubbish. Think about it. How can you make money from the customers and market and then have customers succeed? That's our philosophy. No money from Chinese banks. No. At that time, I wanted, and now they want to give me money. I don't want it. Your relationship with the government. Yeah, what's your relationship? I mean, if they didn't, here is what some say. That you have existed in an environment that's not. They have arrested competition for you. And that's a pretty good thing to do for a private company. Yeah, I think the relationship with the government for us is very interesting for the first 5 years. Because I've been working as a part-time job for a government organization called Ministry of Foreign Trade, 1997, for 14 months. And I learned that you should never rely on government organization to do e-commerce. And I started the business. I told my people and team in love with the government, but don't marry them. Respect them. And a lot of people say, well, government officers talking about internet censorship and this, that, and worry about. I think it's the opportunity. It's a responsibility. Talking to them. Tell them how the internet can help. So you tell them we create jobs. Oh yeah, I think a lot of people debate and fight against them. And in the first 12 years, anybody comes to my office, I sit down, talking to them, how we can help the economy, how we can create jobs, why China will improve by the internet. I think because the internet at that time was new to any government. And if you convince somebody, and you have the chance. So today, I'm very talkative. Probably this is why I talk to so many people. You're also seen in Hollywood. Yeah. What are you doing in Hollywood? Well, I like the Hollywood innovation. The digital, I learned so much about the Hollywood movies, especially the Forrest Gump. You love Forrest Gump. I love Forrest Gump. Why do you like him? Simple. Never give up. People thinking he's dumb, but he knows what he's doing. And I was very depressed the day in the year 2002 or 3 in the States when no, earlier than that. I was very depressed when I could not find a way for the internet. And then I watched the movie in my friend's home, Forrest Gump. When I saw him, I said, this is the guy we should learn from. Believe what you are doing. Love it. Whether people like it, don't like it, be simple. And like the word, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get, right? I've never known I would be here talking to you and talking to Charlie Rose. I never know. But today I made it. I told my people in my apartment 15 years ago, guys, we have to work hard, not for ourselves. If we can be successful, 80% of the young people in China can be successful. We don't have rich father, powerful uncle. If don't have $1 from bank, incentive from government, just work as a team. So what do you worry about? I worry about today, a lot of young people lose hope, lose vision, and start to complain. Because also have the same period. Because when I got, it's not a good feeling being rejected by so many people. We are also depressed. But at least later we find that the world has a lot of opportunities. How you see the world, how you catch opportunities. And Hollywood gave me a lot of inspiration, You're basically out there for business. You're out there because you want to make movies and sell them. I want to make the movie business wise. We are a common company. We have a lot of products that need logistics. But movie, TV, these are things you don't need a logistic system. And movies are probably the best products that can help Chinese young people to understand. Because one thing I told the Chinese people, my friends, in American movies, all the heroes at the beginning they look like a bad guy, but when terrible things come, they become a hero, and finally they all survived. China, if you are a hero, all the heroes died. Because only dead people become a hero, so nobody wants to be the hero. So you want to change the Chinese definition of hero? Yeah, I want to say hero. Today we have so many heroes living in this world. China today, are you worried the economy slow down? No, I don't worry about it. I think China's doing is slowing down. It's much better than keeping at 9%. China today is the second largest economy in the world. It's impossible to keep 9% of the growth. If China's to keep the 9% of growth of the economy, there must be something wrong. You will never see the blue sky. You will never see the quality. China should pay attention to the quality of the economy. China should not. So if we have a lot of influence, like the Hollywood movie things, and we have sports and these things in the GDP will be much better. So I think just like a human grow, this body cannot grow. Certain times, the slow growth of a body is slow, but it should grow your mind, grow your culture, grow your values, grow your wisdom. I think China is moving in that direction. And you saw Modi in India? Pardon? Did you see Modi in India? Not yet. I'm looking forward to it. I will go to India. But there is this. You are one of the world's richest people. Your company is one of the world's richest companies. What do you want beyond Alibaba? Well, by richest people, I was really not happy in the past 3 months when people saying Jack Ma the richest people of China, global celebrity, they said. No, I'm not. When I start business 15, I never thought yet. Maybe I'm now, but I think 15 years ago, my partner, my wife, was at that time one of the 18 founders. Do you want your husband to be a rich person? I never said rich person in China, rich person in Hangzhou. Or do you want your husband to be a respected person? She said, of course respected, because she never believed, and I don't believe we will be rich people. We just want to survive. I believe we have $1 million, that's money. When you have $20 million, you still have problems. You worry about inflation, which stock to buy, and this and that, and headache come. When you have $1 billion, that's not your money. That's the trust society is giving you. They believe you can manage the money, use the money better than the government and the others. So I think today, I have the resources, do more things. With the money we have, with the influence we have, we should spend more time with young people. And I would say, someday I will go back to teach, go back to school, spend time with the young people and telling and sharing with them what I have done. So the money is not mine. I just carry it happily, and having these resources, then I want to do a better job. Just tell them your story. Yeah, tell them the story and tell them that I don't think in this world a lot of people have been rejected more than 30 times. The only thing, we should never give up. The only thing, we are like a Forrest Gump. We keep on fighting. We keep on changing ourselves. We don't complain. Whether you are successful or not successful. And find out when they finish the job, if they made a mistake or they failed, if they always complain to others, this guy will never come back. If the guy only checks himself, yeah, something's wrong with me here, something wrong with me there, this guy has hope. Check on behalf of everybody in this audience and our television audience around the world. Thank you for taking your time to be with us. Thank you.